Hello, my zebras and spoonies. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me today. I am glad that you are here. Today, I am going to be talking about the existentialist crisis and how they are related to chronic illness. So, let's start off by talking about what an existentialist crisis is. Basically, it's when you reach a point in your life that you question the purpose, value, and meaning of your life. The term comes from the ideas presented in existentialist philosophy, where the central idea is that we have no purpose, value, or meaning in life beyond that which we ourselves give it. Because of this, it is possible to have that foundation undermined. So let's start by saying that this is something that everyone goes through at least once in their lives, but usually more than once. We all struggle with an existentialist crisis when we make that transition from adolescence into adulthood, and we struggle to find who we are and our place in this world. That one is pretty much guaranteed for everyone. But there are other times that are really common to experience this. Empty nest syndrome is really just an existentialist crisis. That parent just spent 20 or more years of their life with raising their children as their purpose. Once their children have grown and moved away, they have to redefine their purpose. Retirement is another existentialist crisis. People have spent the majority of their life with defining their profession as their purpose in life. And when you retire, you have to redefine that. So it's important to know that if you are experiencing this, it is a very normal part of being human that we frequently experience during major transitions and major changes in our lives. So another very common thing is to experience an existentialist crisis in context of having a chronic illness. This crisis can occur when you receive your diagnosis, when you have a decline in your status, when you receive news regarding your prognosis, when you discover that you need an assistive device. So there's a lot of times. I mean, and it's even possible that it could seem to come right out of nowhere. The thing is that having a chronic illness demands that we constantly reevaluate what is important in our lives because we have to decide what we're going to spend our spoons on. This constant evaluation of our lives and the nature of illness, changing self perception, can easily lead to us having an existentialist crisis. These times in our lives are very difficult because we feel like we no longer know who we are. And we question the fundamental value of our very being. Despite how difficult these times are, we can use them productively and to our benefit. These times are an opportunity for us to closely examine who it is we want to be and what we want to include in our lives and how we want to perceive the world around us. Because the truth is that during these times, nothing has changed. And that's the piece that we need to keep reminding ourselves of as we struggle with these big feelings. There's no predetermined purpose or meaning in life. So there's no way that you can lose it. The value in life is in the simple existence of it. So as long as you are alive, you cannot lose the value in your life. So despite feeling like you are in a crisis, there is nothing that you have lost because these are not things that can be taken from you. Your purpose and your meaning in life are things that are only defined by you. They can't be taken from you. All right, so how do we get through to the other side of these times? So the first thing to know is that this is like anything else and it will pass because nothing lasts forever. No matter how awful it feels, it's going to pass. The tide comes in and we feel like we're drowning. But the tide will eventually go out. It always does. So you don't really need to do anything but wait, and time will take care of it for you. But if you want to make sure that you get the most out of this difficult time, there are things that you can do to shift the experience to your benefit rather than just being a crappy time that you had to suffer through. As always, be sure that you are giving your emotions space and that you are paying attention to what they are trying to tell you. Give yourself time to just sit with your emotions. Notice what it is that you are feeling without judgment. Then consider where these emotions have arisen from and what they might suggest you need in your life. Feelings of fear and anger often arise from unmet needs. Recognizing those needs can help us better care for ourselves in the future. Keep in mind that no feeling is wrong or bad. They are there as warning lights to signal us that there is something that needs to be addressed. Make sure that you are seeking out the support that you need during this time. Everyone will need the emotional support of their loved ones and should be sure to engage with the important people in their lives, especially when we are struggling with life's big questions. Oftentimes, just being with the people that we care about can provide answers that we need to these kinds of questions in life. However, there are times that these questions weigh heavily or become too complex in our minds. So consider seeking professional support if you feel like that's the case for you. It is always a benefit to have an outside professional perspective if there's someone that you have an established rapport and trust with. Express how you feel. This can be to your loved ones, to a professional, in your thoughts, or in a journal. But it can be very helpful to take the time to tell the story of your emotions. When we tell ourselves a story, we are defining the meaning of the events that happened in our lives. Storytelling is the way that we connect the pieces and pull together events and put them together with our feelings. It is a process of unification. And this is why we have engaged in this activity since all of recorded human history. By including others in your storytelling, you give them the opportunity to offer an outside perspective and to include them in your narrative. But it need not be a social affair. Journaling is a very powerful outlet that should never be underestimated. Be sure to remind yourself of the things that matter to you. When we are pondering our purpose, our meaning, and our values in life, it is often helpful to go back to the basics. What things in life bring you joy? Visit those things and explore what it is about them that raises you up. Where we find joy is often where we can build our purpose and meaning in our lives. If you love to write, you can create a purpose surrounding that joy. If you love being with people, you can create meaning in your life on the foundation of those relationships. Our joy is a treasure trove of possibilities that we can explore. It will also serve as a support to you by helping you cope with the difficult emotions that you are experiencing while you tackle these big life questions. Evaluate what in your life is within your control and what is not. No amount of magical thinking will make me grow wings or change the fact that I was born biologically female. These things that we have no control over can have a profound effect on our lives. Having Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is something that I have no control over, and it affects every aspect of my life. Everything within the realm of the past is outside our control. It can no longer be changed or affected. What has happened, happened. These things cannot be changed, must be accepted for what they are. That does not mean that we need to like them or that we need to forgive any past sins that have occurred. We need only accept that they are beyond our control. Then we need to shift our focus to the things that we can control in our lives. I can make choices about my lifestyle that will affect how much Ehlers-Danlos syndrome impacts my life. I can do things that will manage my symptoms and will make it less likely that I will have more problems in the future. By choosing to focus on these things, I choose to empower myself. I can do nothing about the fact that bad things happened to me in the past, but I can choose to remove those people from my life, and I can choose how will I manage my trauma. I can write the story so that I am the victim, or I can write that I am a survivor that fights back. We cannot become anything or do anything in our lives. There are limits. But that isn't the same thing as having no control or no power. Focus on the things that you can control in your life and lay claim to the power that you can evoke change with. And know that this is a normal part of being human and a very common experience for those of us with chronic illness. You're not alone. You're not the first person to struggle with these questions and face these challenges. Seek out those in support groups so that you can talk to others who have similar experiences as your own, who share your diagnosis and who have similar perspectives. But above all else, be gentle with yourself as you redefine who you are. Well, that's about it for my rambling today. Thanks for coming and spending time with me. If you like the video, please click on that like button. It really does help. And until we talk again, you guys take care of yourselves, okay? Bye.